Hey, what's up guys? LegalBro. Today we're breaking down one of the absolute cringiest courtroom trials you've ever seen. Looks like something out of Days of Our Lives. Let's get into it.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
You're really despicable.
All right, so obviously we've got some sort of injury case here. I love this. This must have been filmed and recorded by somebody at an insurance company, right? Of course, they're going to bring in the plaintiff with a neck brace and in a wheelchair and make him into this person that's like the boogeyman, even though, you know, more than likely he was injured because of somebody else's negligence. But either way, they always paint the plaintiff and the plaintiff lawyers like the boogeyman. I'm a plaintiff lawyer. Come on, guys. Do I look like the boogeyman? I don't think so.
All rise.
All right, you guys may be seated. All right, plaintiff, go ahead. Start.
Thank you, Your Honor. As you can imagine, life is hard enough for my client who is disabled. But what makes it even harder is dealing with negligent business owners like the defendant here.
That is not what's going on here.
All right, so we got a couple of things to start off with. The first is, where the heck is the jury in this case, right? We haven't seen a jury yet. And the second is, where is the defendant's counsel, right? We've got this poor sap sitting at the table. He's got his head down. Ooh, this is the worst day of my life. What's interesting is that nobody knows this, but I'm going to let you in on a little secret. This business owner likely has insurance. So what does that mean? The insurance premium that he pays each and every month, right? When that business owner gets sued, he gives the lawsuit to his insurance company, and his insurance company is going to provide him with legal counsel. And guess what? The person sitting at that table may be old poor defendant, but the insurance company is going to be there as well. They're going to be in the pews, right, saying a Hail Mary, maybe an Our Father, and they're going to be there evaluating the trial. And the trial could settle at any time. It could settle after voir dire, which is where they're selecting the jury. It could settle after opening statements. It could settle after the plaintiff's case in chief, defense's case in chief. It could settle when the jury's back deliberating, right? Tons of times they could settle. This poor sap of a businessman, in my opinion, this scenario never even exists. Why? Because of two reasons. The first is business owner has insurance, and therefore insurance is going to pay for his defense counsel, meaning he's not going to be sitting there, oh, woe is me, getting absolutely lambasted. His lawyer is going to stand up and pound his fist on the table and tell the court that the plaintiff's lawyer is in the wrong, right? And the second thing is, let's say that this business owner doesn't have insurance. Well, I'm going to let you in on another little secret. Nobody's suing this guy. What are they going to do? You can't squeeze water out of a rock, folks. What are they going to get from this poor sap, right? Look at him. He's sitting in there. He's not making any money anyway. You know, he's making even less because he's in court. You gotta have some insurance for the plaintiff to sue you in most scenarios, unless you are independently wealthy or your business has assets, right? There are certain companies that are self-insured, but the bodega owner or the person that owns the property that the gas station sits on, what are you gonna do? How do you get money from that person in some of those scenarios? But that's where people don't understand the law. They don't understand civil cases. That's why you follow LegalBro, baby.
You may continue.
Thank you, Your Honor. As I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted, my client here was
She wouldn't be able to say that.
using the restroom at the defendant's place of business. He was trying to get up when... May I approach the bench, Your Honor?
Yes, you may.
Thank you. As you can see, my client was holding on for dear life to grab the bar for support. But it was improperly attached, causing him to fall on the floor and injure his head. Thankfully, I was nearby to help take the photos.
All right, you gotta love this. Like, this has got to be some Allstate or Geico propaganda that we're seeing here. There's no way that this would ever come about in an actual case, because let's talk about it. The first thing is, nobody ever wants to talk about this, but practicing law in a courtroom is not like TV. There's no gotcha moments. There's no, hey, judge, take a look at this, and I'm not going to let the other side look at this. No, everybody already knows, here are the exhibits, here are the witnesses we're going to call, here's the evidence we're going to set forth, right? We just don't know. We just don't know if the judge is going to let this evidence in or not. We don't know if the jury is going to find this person credible or not. I mean, we know there's going to be evidentiary arguments, but come on, there's no way that this poor old business owner got to this trial and hasn't seen these pictures. And there's certainly no way that if he was actually getting up off the wall and that thing ripped out, come on, is there any way that they're not liable for that? I mean, what are the arguments? Did the guy bring his screwdriver into the handicap stall and unscrew that to fall over and hit his head? Come on.
But if the defendant wasn't trying to cut corners and do such a shoddy...
I did not try to cut any corners.
Hey, you can speak when it's your turn. Continue.
But if the defendant wasn't so negligent in installing that bar, my client wouldn't be in a neck brace today. Therefore, we are demanding the defendant to pay $25,000 in damages and all attorney fees.
$25,000, that's gonna...
Order. I'm not gonna tell you. Be quiet again.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Go ahead and finish.
That's all I have, Your Honor. But the evidence, it speaks for itself.
All right. Now, what do you have to say about this?
Okay, look, that grab bar was not negligently installed. Okay, I did it myself, and I know I didn't cut any corners.
How do you explain all these pictures then?
I don't know.
Well, it looks like all of the evidence is heading in one direction. It's clear that the defendant is negligent in creating injuries to our plaintiff. Therefore, I have to rule in favor of the plaintiff.
What? No, Your Honor, please. I'll have to close down my business.
The decision's been made.
Gotta love that, because if there's anything we hate in America, it's shutting down people's businesses. And oh, by the way, all the nonsense you hear about punitive damages and runaway juries and all of that, the McDonald's cup of coffee, even though McDonald's was extremely negligent, and all of these entities have done a great job of spinning that in the direction of the defense and insurance companies and plaintiffs milking the system. In America, we don't like to see businesses shut down over lawsuits. I don't think $25K in attorney's fees is going to break the bank for this guy. I don't know what he does, but we don't like to see that. That's probably the one thing that the court is not going to permit. They wouldn't have permitted a award that would put him out of business.
Tomorrow, we'll get together and we'll talk about the damages.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor. I hope you learned your lesson. When you take advantage of people, it comes back to you.
All right, next case, Tabitha Clemens versus Jake Odell.
Amazing.
All right, now unless you're up there in the Northeast somewhere where they bifurcate, which means separate, right, where they do them at different times, liability from damages. Down here in the sunny state of Florida, that would all take place at the same time. Jury doesn't need to find a defendant liable, right? If a trial takes place, they put on all of the evidence. Up north in some of those jurisdictions, I don't know, somewhere up in New York or New Jersey, some of those areas. Up there in the Northeast, there's at least one state where they will bifurcate. They say, okay, the only way we have to move to the damages portion of the trial is if we find the defendant was negligent.
Like clockwork.
You really think we'll get the full 25 grand?
Don't we always? I'm gonna try to squeeze out as much as I can in attorney fees.
This thing is really starting to itch.
My butt is really sore, so I'm just gonna stand.
What are you doing? If anyone sees you, we'll both be exposed. Let's get out of here first. Plus, I found another business to hit up.
Oh.
That's gonna be an easy one.
This one has a dressing room that's perfect. So just give me a couple minutes and then come in.
Okay, Pookie.
Hey, sir. Excuse me, can you move? I'm trying. Okay, all right.
Oh, hey. Wait. Your screwdriver is sticking out.
Oopsies. That would have been pretty bad, huh?
Hi, welcome.
Can
Yeah, sure.
Oh, hey, let me help you with that. Ah, thank you. That's so kind.
Hi, welcome in.
Hi.
Oh, hi, welcome in.
There's no way on God's green earth that this shop does not have some sort of insurance or some sort of liability coverage. I'm just putting it out there. There is no way. They definitely do.
That.
I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Are you okay?
Does it look like I'm okay?
Here, let me help you.
Maybe you should just stay right there.
Now, see, what'll hurt his case is that he's already been injured for the same exact type of injuries, right? He has the case that is ongoing from the original scenes in the courtroom, and now he has the same injuries hitting his head that may decrease the amount of damages that he has in his next case because they are such similar injuries in such a short period of time.
Okay.
Oh no! What happened?
Well, I tried to grab the stupid grab bar, and it must not have been installed correctly because it fell when I was holding onto it. Ah! Oh, I think I broke something.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Would you like us to call you an ambulance?
First, I want to talk to an attorney. Okay, I can't find my phone.
Here it is.
Great setup there on this absolute nonsense. But first, I need to call my attorney. Come on. He would have taken the ambulance ride before he calls his lawyer.
So legs.
All right, I'm sorry. I don't mean to overstep. My name is Stephanie, and I'm actually a personal injury attorney.
Now we're bordering on some ethical issues, right, folks? So you cannot, as a personal injury attorney, drive down the highway and when you see somebody in a fender bender, pull over and say, hey, my name's John Smith. I do injury law. Need somebody? We all good here? Everybody kosher? Good. Same way you can't hear, right? She's going up and let's set aside the fact that this is a complete setup, but she goes up and says, as she's rendering aid, hey, by the way, bud, as I'm getting you up, oops, business card slipped out of my pocket. Yeah, I can help you sue this business. I don't know what state they're in, but definitely feels like she is towing the line. Not to mention, obviously, this is a setup, so this is highly unlawful.
Specialize in ADA cases.
Really? And you would help me?
Yes, of course. No one deserves to be treated like this, especially someone in a wheelchair. Is it okay if I take some pictures?
That's fine. Oh, it's cold. Why is it so cold?
It's almost over.
Girl.
Tell the owner He will be hearing from my office soon. This was really negligent of you guys.
We'll let him know.
And again, we're so sorry for what happened. You should be.
Now, there were some lawyers down in South Florida, shocking, I know, that were going around to motels and hotels, and they had an individual in a wheelchair. Maybe this is a take on that. And the individual would go and book a one-night stay and go to use the pool, and the pool did not have a wheelchair device to lower the handicapped individual into the pool, right? And obviously that is an ADA violation. So this lawyer and this client went all over South Florida, and they were basically shaking down, maybe a strong word. They were doing these over and over and over again against hotels and motels that did not have pools that were ADA compliant.
I just need one more second.
Why are you taking pictures?
Okay, look, this is gonna be hard to believe, but that guy was faking it all. He did the same thing to my business.
Yeah. You can tell just by looking at the holes.
What do you mean?
Well, just look at the way that the screws came out of the wall. That's way too smooth to have been pulled out. So that means that somebody came by and unscrewed them.
I would have never thought of that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
See ya.
Wow, that's some solid evidence that'll help the defense, saying that the screw holes were too clean when it came off the wall. Somebody had to have unscrewed it, not broken it off or had it fallen off. I'm buying it.
Oh, you should have seen the look on their face. It was priceless.
Oh, I can only imagine. Oh, before I forget, here's that settlement from the restaurant case last week.
Wow. That is the easiest money I've ever made.
Now, what they don't tell you in all of this is that because all of these businesses have insurance, they're going to be able to look up and see that John Smith has done the same scheme against all of these businesses in a wheelchair. He hurts his neck. He gets a settlement. A lot of these insurance companies will actually share settlement information related to plaintiff attorneys and related to plaintiffs. So they know who's been hurt before, who's gotten settlements before. They know who the plaintiff attorneys are that have gotten big W's. They know the plaintiff attorneys that aren't scared to go to trial. This is no secret, right? It's not like they're pulling the wool over anybody's eyes here, doing all of this and asserting the same injuries and the same traumatic events and all of these things.
My life.
Well,
It was a pleasure doing business with you, as always.
mm-hmm.
I better get going. So here is your wheelchair.
Thanks.
Ha! I got you now.
What are you doing here?
Doesn't that just remind you of the scene from Erin Brockovich where she loses at trial and she walks out and she's got her neck brace on and she like rips it off, and then she goes into Ed's office like afterwards. She's like super ticked off about how they just lost their trial and he's got to give her a job. Basically what happened here, only the wheelchair that the guy was sitting in, looks like he can actually walk it off. Not good. Not going to help his case.
You two are the biggest fraudsters on the planet. Can't wait until the judge finds out about this. Get ready to go to jail for a very long time.
The judge won't find out about this.
What are you talking about? I got the pictures right here of
Oh.
you and... Hey!
Stephanie!
So where's your evidence now?
Should I say cheese?
So close.
Okay, you know what? It doesn't even matter.
No?
I'll just tell the judge what I saw.
Oh, and you think he'll believe you?
This is basically what every single person who's never been involved in an injury case would think that a plaintiff and a plaintiff attorney are up to. Oh man, they're just fabricating these injuries, trying to hurt these poor businesses that always do the right thing. Well, I've got a secret for you folks. We don't need to fabricate jack. There are enough businesses out there that put profits over people and would rather pad their bottom line and pay a fine along the way than do the right thing. So this guy and this lawyer that they're portraying to be these devilish characters is a bunch of hogwash, a bunch of baloney.
You really don't think he's going to know what's going on here? When I tell him that you're going from business to business, pulling off the same scam?
Oh, well, it's not a crime to get injured at different places. But, you know, what do I know? I'm just an attorney.
Well, not for long.
We'll see you in court. And, don't forget the checkbook.
Okay, look, I'm telling you, Your Honor, this is all one big scam. I saw it with my own eyes.
Is there any truth to this?
None whatsoever, Your Honor. He's just trying to paint us in a bad light to avoid taking responsibility for his own negligence. I urge the court to issue punitive damages to punish the defendant for his lies.
Well,
But that doesn't mean you get punitive damages against him.
you are accusing them of some very serious crimes. Do you have any evidence to substantiate your accusations?
Well, like I said, she grabbed my memory card and then she ate it.
I'm sorry, ate it? I'm sorry, Your Honor, but I've heard some pretty outrageous stories in my day, but that one takes the cake.
You can look up their court record. They have a history of filing cases against businesses.
Yeah, but even so, it's not illegal to have multiple injuries. In fact, it's kind of common among ADA cases, so my ruling stands.
No. Please. Look, that would mean I have to shut down my whole business and... Look, I'm telling you the truth, okay? Just have to believe me.
Without proof to substantiate your story, it's just hearsay. I'm gonna ask you one more time. Do you have any evidence?
No.
All right. Well, then I hereby award $25,000 to the plaintiff for the demand, along with another $10,000 for your attorney fees.
Stop.
Gotta love that, right? Like as if he wouldn't have showed up at 9 a.m. just to make sure he gets us in. Somehow he can get through security, right? He's got to put his wallet and everything through. It goes in, metal detector. He's got to find the floor that the courtroom's on. Then he's like, oh, is this one in the back? Oh, maybe I'm on the wrong side. Miraculously, right as the court is getting ready to squash the defense like a bug, oh, this guy magically bursts through the courtroom. And oh, by the way, the judge isn't even mad, right? The judge isn't like, sit down, you're out of order, gavel, gavel, gavel. Nope. What do? Oh, sure, let's let this guy off the street just go ahead and present evidence for the defense. Nice.
Your Honor, the plaintiff and his attorney are both frauds.
Liar!
Who is this guy?
I mean, why should we be listening to him?
Oh, well, maybe because I'm the one with the folder full of photos of you committing fraud. Oh, and for what it's worth, I'm an undercover federal agent.
I guess that helps, right? But again, why wouldn't this undercover federal agent have gotten in there long beforehand? He would have obviously had to have shown these to the plaintiff before he brought them up to the judge. He wouldn't be able to talk at a turn. He probably would have approached the defendant before he ever got up and spoke on his behalf. There's a few things that are a little bit off about this scenario, but we'll see how it finishes up.
Your Honor, I've been investigating these two for quite a while now.
Oh, wow. This is unbelievable. Oh. And looks like you've been telling the truth from the beginning, defendant.
Oh.
Okay, it was all her idea. She made me do it.
Oh, be quiet! You're just as
Guilty as I am.
Arrest those two.
Arrest me. You can't do that. I am an attorney. Get off of me.
You were an attorney. I'm going to make sure that you never practice law again.
Oh.
handcuffs off of me!
Well, you're right about one thing. When you take advantage of people, it always comes back to you.
Nice. Pro se defendant wins the day. Plaintiff ends up in handcuffs. This must be like the defense and insurance company's idea of heaven, folks. Unbelievable.
Wait, what are you talking about?
I cannot go back to prison. That's not a good place.
I am an officer in the court of law!
Thank you.
Well, this case is dismissed.
Well, there you have it, folks. I guess if you're on the plaintiff side, you're the absolute devil. And I guess if you're on the defense side, well, you poor sap, you're going to win every case. I don't know. Seemed like something kind of fun to review. If you have any other ideas you want us to talk about, leave a like and a comment below. Subscribe. LegalBro giving you all the corny news always, baby.